Go.
What's up, everybody? This is Urban Shop Talk once again with Barry and Terry.
No, Terry and Barry. Whichever
Or
one.
Terry, Barry, whichever one. I don't mind taking second billing if that's what it comes to. We're coming once again from Barry's Barbershop right here in Kent, Washington.
529 Central Avenue North.
There it is.
You know
Come
where
down,
it's
check it out any day. It's a great shop, great cuts. Everybody come out looking fly. So today we are once again going to be talking about some movies. You know, this is the show that we talk about everything from movies to anything in entertainment, music, TV, sports. But we like to really focus on movies, and once again we're going to focus on movies because it's been another big movie week, especially coming off of the Academy Awards last week.
Which I was right. I told you guys.
He wasn't, and I'm going to get
I think I got 4. Did I get 4?
I got 5, so I won. So that's that. But I mean, you know, that's neither here or there. We're going to get into that, and we're also going to talk a little bit about 2 movies that we're going to highlight this week, one being Logan. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and then we're both going to get into a full review with some spoilers for Get Out, which is another good one. And if we got time, we're going to do a spotlight.
Get Out was really, really good, and I would highly recommend that movie for a lot of people to go
We got
see.
time, brother. We're going to get into that.
Okay.
We're going to get into that. We're going to dig into that. He's ready. He's eager to talk about Get Out.
I am.
We're going to talk about
I
Get Out.
actually want to hear what you're going to say about it.
I'm going to tell it to you.
We didn't talk during the whole course of the week.
We did.
And one of the reasons why we want to save it for right here.
We'll be fresh when we talk about it right here. So, before we get into everything, how was your weekend? How was your week and your week?
Another week, a good week. Got a chance to get caught up on a lot of movies. Actually, I watched a lot of TV shows this week, previous week, and some good TV shows out there. Scout Luther, X-Show.
Yeah, we're getting the movies and TV shows. A lot of TV shows coming up. We're getting a lot more TV maybe next week even. So that's something to look forward to.
Definitely.
My weekend was pretty good. My week was okay, and then got a lot of movie watching in myself. And did the Comic-Con thing today. Emerald City Comic-Con. It was a lot of fun. Went down there today. A lot of crazy costumes, a lot of obscure comics and toys and games.
Now, Terry, sell me on that, because for somebody who's I've heard about it, a lot of people are passionate about it, but what exactly is it? Like, I'm not a comic book junkie, so like that per se. So
well, I am a comic book junkie,
but
even
we see the shirt, so we shirt tight today.
I see you, man. Don't get mad at the shirt you're talking. Man. The shirt is what it is. Okay, they run a little small. The thing is, though, there's a little bit of something for everybody at these Comic Cons. So if you like movies, if you like games, there's something that you've watched or been into, they're gonna have something there. So they got all the stuff. People walking around in these crazy, elaborate, expensive-looking costumes. It's a lot of fun. They had a couple of guys. I think one of the guys from Harry Potter was there today. They have different artists, writers, different people that are there, just doing a lot. So it's a lot of fun. Kids, grown-ups, old, young, everybody was there. So it's just a lot of fun.
Now I gotta ask, and I'm just because I don't know. Is there a lot of brothers be down there? Are brothers kind of starting to evolve into the comic book? Okay, all right.
There's brothers down there. I always
seems like every year. Have you been going?
This actually was my first year in a long time. I haven't gone since I was a kid. I went with my brother today. My brother, he's gone for the last 3 years or so. But it's a pretty big deal, man, downtown Seattle.
That's cool. It looks pretty cool. So
yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun.
One of these years, I'm gonna have to venture and go down there and check it out.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. It was a great time.
Give me a tight shirt. You get that.
Get you a tight shirt. They got a lot of tight shirts, man. You might get a little extra smooth, hug it, snug it on you. It does good. But so for right now, we are gonna go back and talk about the Academy Awards because
definitely.
we got into that a lot last week, and we're gonna talk about what you thought about the show overall. What do you thought about the people that won, the people that didn't win?
Well, they made a major mistake. That kind of
right. So what did you?
So
think
do I
about
get
that?
2 for 1 on that? Because then I say.
Well, I think both of us should get something for that.
Moonlight and I said La La Land.
No, what happened is, and this is why I'm here to keep things in line and keep this man in check with his alternative facts. Because last week we both predicted wrongly that La La Land would win. You said that you thought that Moonlight
But
should
I told
win.
you I wanted Moonlight.
Right, you wanted on a personal level. You wanted Moonlight to win. You thought it was the best movie of the year. I thought that Moonlight could win, but we both thought that La La Land was going to win.
So let's put it like this then. In your opinion, What was the best picture of last year?
If the best picture of last year, if we're going off of the batch of movies that was nominated, what I thought should have won was Hidden Figures out of everything that was nominated.
Okay.
I didn't think Hidden Figures would win, and I thought that Moonlight had the best chance, other than La La Land, to win it. But I thought that all the nominations, all the hoopla going into the La La Land thing, I thought they'd pull it off.
What resonated with Hidden Figures that you liked so much? Because I watched it, I thought Hidden Figures was, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I don't think it should have been Picture of the Year by no means, to be honest with you.
Oh, it wasn't. So
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
Agree with you.
Well,
Yeah, that.
I was right about that. But I thought Moonlight was significantly better. Storytelling was just good, and I thought.
So you were happy with
I was
Moonlight
extremely
taking
happy,
it
yeah.
on because you thought that was the best picture.
No, yeah.
Well, for me, you asked me about Hidden Figures. I thought Hidden Figures. I thought that it had everything. I thought it had great performances. I thought that it was just equally as important. A lot of the things that people are mentioning about Moonlight is how important of the subject matter that it was, and that it really touched on a community of people, and it touched on a nerve that it's a big deal right now with what's going on in the world with that community, with people and the black community and everything. So I thought it was all there, but I thought Hidden Figures touched on those same things with the black community, with women, and with women's rights, and with them coming together and becoming such a huge part of history. And basically, both movies were great. But I thought Hidden Figures, to me, was more pleasing to watch. I just say it like that. I thought that was more pleasing to watch. I thought that
more
overall,
definite ending, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
Moonlight did have that kind of that abrupt.
Yeah,
ending.
I thought that Hidden Figures basically. I liked it better as a movie personally, and I thought that it had great performances, and I thought it was a more memorable movie for me. But I think Moonlight definitely was a good movie, and it was deserving. So I won't take away from it.
It had the same voice when I watched it, like
which one?
Well, Hidden Figures, for example, like Glory. Did you like Glory?
Not like as much as Hidden Figures.
Oh, okay. Kind of this. I don't know. I like Glory. That Glory was a good movie. I just didn't get it. Didn't give that extra.
Yeah. I can kind of see the
Glory
similarities.
is good. Denzel Washington, check that out. Definitely good movie.
There's a good movie, but I just think that Hidden Figures just resonates so much with so much that's going on. So I thought that was good. But let's talk about that ending, though, to the Academy Awards, because what did you think about that when that first happened?
I was just like, because at first I was kind of upset,
Why were you upset? What exactly did you think about how that all went down with them announcing that La La Land won first, and then bam, we made a mistake. It's actually Moonlight.
Since I like Moonlight, I wanted Moonlight to win. I was excited at the end, at the very end, when they announced a mistake and they changed it, of course. I thought it was unfortunate. I thought that it actually added some excitement to kind of a boring Academy Award show.
Right. You felt like it was just an honest mistake and just...
Yeah, I felt it was an honest mistake.
Okay. I didn't. And I'm going to tell you what.
It was a conspiracy at the Academy Award?
You can say what you want. To me, get the conspiracy theories out right now, because I think that was a bunch of crap. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, had that happened, that whole mix-up, had happened early in the show with a director award or cinematography award or foreign film, if they'd have mixed it up like that, it's an honest mistake. But the fact that it's the main event, the best picture, that's the main event of the Academy Awards. That's the big thing that everybody tunes in to see what actually wins. The fact that they messed up on that one, and not only did they mess up, it was with the two top front runners that everybody thought was going to win Best Picture. It was with La La Land, it was with Moonlight. The fact that happened, I smell a rat, and I think that they were trying to capitalize on the Steve Harvey deal that happened last year with the Miss America. No, give me a second. I think that Miss America, nobody was talking about Miss America until Steve Harvey botched the ending and gave the wrong winner away. I think that with the declining ratings in the Academy Awards the last few years, when they've had all these art movies on there,
because of the movies haven't been that good.
What I'm saying is,
the last two,
right? But they created a buzzworthy moment this year. Which next year, I guarantee you, next year the ratings will be higher because people are going to want to see what happens because of what happened this time. I think that's not a coincidence. I smell a rat. I think that was a conspiracy theory.
Maybe it should be on the X-Files.
That needs to be looked at.
I don't think that's the case. I just think it was a mistake. you know, it is what it is. The right movie won, so. You know.
I could be wrong. All I'm saying is, I don't know. But you know what else I didn't, that kind of sucked about that was that the guys from Moonlight didn't really get their moment. You know, it became more about the moment than their moment. So that kind of sucked for them. And for La La Land too, that sucks for them to come up there and give all their thanks, mom, and you did such a good job raising me. Wait, we didn't win. Yeah. So that part sucked too. So I thought that whole thing.
But I thought at the end it was handled well. I think both parties handled it well.
Yeah, both parties they did it with
class. It was classy, and
they did it with class.
You know, mistakes do occur. So we move on.
Right. So so let's move down the line a little bit. Emma Stone, she took Best Actress. I was right on that. What did you think about that pick, and what did you think about it?
I wasn't upset with it. I thought she was strong. So
she was strong. Yeah, I actually, what's weird about that is Viola Davis won for supporting actress. I actually thought that was a lead actress role. To me, that felt like a lead actress role. I thought so too.
I would agree with you on that.
And I think that she could have won Best Actress. And we'll get into the Best Supporting Actress. But Emma Stone was great.
She gave a great speech. Well,
she did. We're going to get to that in a second.
Speech was outstanding.
We're going to get to that in a second because we'll go back to Best Actor. Now, this is one. What did you think about Casey Affleck picking it up for Manchester by the Sea?
Didn't I say that he was...
That might have been one of the ones that you called.
He was outstanding in that.
Right.
And that movie was, without him, I think was a terrible movie.
It was his movie. It was no movie without him.
He made the film. He owned it.
Right.
He owned that. And so I didn't disagree with that. I actually liked that pick.
I did disagree with it a little bit because I picked Denzel Washington. I thought Denzel Washington had a stronger sustained performance for the whole movie.
Are you talking about Fences?
For Fences.
Oh,
for Fences. I thought that Barry. I thought that Denzel Washington was stronger for longer in that movie. I thought that Casey Affleck's performance, while great in its own right, I thought that he had maybe one or two really big moments in that movie that really, really shined that high. And I thought that Denzel was on the entire time for Moonlight. Or not Moonlight.
That's not even Denzel's best work.
It's not Denzel's best work, but I thought that Denzel was stronger.
When you think of that, Denzel Washington,
Casey Affleck.
Let's talk about. Can we go off a topic right now? Talk about Denzel's best 3 movies.
Go for it.
Okay, is Fences in there?
No.
Okay.
But you're talking about a great actor. That's like saying one game for Michael Jordan. Is that his best game? No, but he has like 100 great games, and you can't really say Denzel Washington has so much work that is.
Have we started giving him a little bit of a pass on just a couple movies?
No,
Magnificent Seven was horrible,
and I didn't put Magnificent Seven.
Was it horrible? Be honest.
I didn't put Magnificent Seven in.
To be honest, I didn't even watch that movie.
Exactly.
So.
I didn't put Magnificent Seven.
I'm just asking.
Fences was not the best actor. He won the SAG Award for Best Actor, so it obviously had the critics and it had the.
That's a Lifetime Award.
That's not how's it a Lifetime Award? He's already got 2 Oscars. How did he get a Lifetime Award?
Well, they give him a Lifetime on that because Fences was not.
We're not going to agree with this.
But Fences wasn't good. I mean,
okay, I didn't love Fences as a movie as a whole, but the performance.
The movie wasn't good. How can you really say that you would give him an Academy Award?
There's actually been a few performances that were great in bad movies. We can get into that. I didn't say that Fences was a bad movie either. I don't want to say that, but I think that his performance was better than what the movie was altogether. And I thought that his performance and Viola Davis' performances were very much warranted.
Denzel, we need you back like Training Day.
Now that's funny that you bring that up.
A Man on Fire.
I don't think that was his greatest one. He got an Oscar for that one.
Man on Fire.
He was good in that one. Man on Fire. He was good in that one. Well, let's go. Let's not get stuck on this one. Let's go to the supporting actress, which was Viola Davis. What did you think about that? Now you picked Naomi Harris for Moonlight in that one.
I'm not upset with it. I think I made a comment about it. I think she's a strong actress. She was strong in that role. The only problem I will say, I seen Viola Davis in that role.
Right.
It wasn't, so.
Well,
it wasn't like, it was just a great performance that just blew me away. It didn't exactly do that, but
I thought that Naomi Harris. I still think Viola Davis should have been nominated as a best actress, and I thought Naomi Harris should have got that one.
Screen time.
Yeah, for screen time, she was in it. I mean, she was the lead actress in that movie. So sometimes when they do those awards, it's kind of weird how they do it. But Naomi Harris was great. Also, Michelle Williams, her part in Manchester by the Sea, it was a small part, but the scene that she had with Casey Affleck, there was the one moment.
I actually was upset that she wasn't in more.
Yeah, I mean, and that could have used it could
I
have used her side of that.
I thought a
story.
couple more scenes would have been really nice in that.
Right, it could have used more of her side of that story, but I thought her performance, that one scene that she had with Casey Affleck, that could have got her an Oscar any other year. So that one, I still think
Let's talk about
that
Casey though, because I'm starting to. Is he overtaking his brother?
in terms of. I don't think so. I think he's got
Yeah,
he's got to have a better. I mean, he was great in
He's been in-
Manchester by the Sea, but I
He's
don't
been
know.
in a couple of really good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but Ben, I think Ben's role is more shifted to the behind the camera stuff now. The directing.
He's
thing
actually, I would almost
is
say Ben
what-
is a better director.
Well, I won't argue with that at all.
Yeah,
he hasn't had like a really bad movie yet at all. So I think
Well, Live on the Night, did he direct that?
he directed that. But that wasn't a bad movie. That just wasn't one of his best. All the rest of his movies, you talk about Argo, if you talk about The Town,
Town was excellent.
Gone Girl, Gone Baby, Gone. Those movies are all great movies. They're all really, really good movies. So I think he's definitely
He's stronger, yeah. I think
He's a stronger director. I still think
Yeah.
he's a good Batman. You don't agree with that? I think he's a good Batman.
Oh no, yeah, it's Christian Bale.
That's for another time.
Yeah,
We'll get into
Christian
that.
Christian
Okay.
Bale's the best Batman.
Supporting actor. Mahershala Ali won that one for Moonlight. What do you think about that award?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you picked Jeff Bridges up for that one.
I did. Well, I did. I kind of was torn between them because I can go either way. I like Jeff Bridges because he was just more. He was in the film
In the
more.
film more.
Yeah, you know.
I
So
got
that's the reason. Jeff Bridges is an awesome actor too, by the way. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's
So either way, either one of those picks, I
would have been fine with. Mahershala Ali. I thought that his role was so pivotal to Moonlight. I thought he was so important in that role, and what he did with his limited screen time. That's why I felt like he would be a good choice to win that award.
You're right,
That's
because
why
it
I
is
was happy that he
supporting-
did.
yeah,
because
it is supporting
he
him.
set up so much of the movie with only a few minutes of screen time so well, and it was such a strong presence that was felt throughout that movie. So hats off to him. I'm glad that he won that, and I'm glad that happened. So
yeah, and I look forward to his future work because I think he has a really bright future. He has something about him that,
he should be a star. He should be a really big star really soon.
Yeah.
I think he's got it. I think he's got what it takes.
Yeah.
So those are the big ones that we.
I did
really
go watch him
got
back
into.
in Luke Cage, and man, they messed up his role in that.
He should have been the main villain.
Yeah, I
the whole
don't
way through.
understand that.
That was
Look,
I
what
didn't
were you
understand
doing?
it. Yeah,
Luke Cage was a good show.
Luke Cage, if you haven't checked it out, go look on Netflix. It's a black superhero show. Luke Cage on Netflix. It's a great show. Mahershala Ali plays the villain there.
I wouldn't say great show. It's a good show.
I think it's pretty good. I think I'd call it great just because of
In that,
in what it does. I think for
it's
what
better
it
than
is.
Jessica Jones. I
For
would
what
say
it
that.
is. Yeah, I like it better than Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Behind Daredevil.
Oh, yeah, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They set the bar high with Daredevil. Okay, back to
all right, so speaking of, now that's an easy transition for right now because we're going to stop with the Oscar stuff. That's it for that. Those are done. We're going to go into another superhero topic, which is a movie that dropped this week, was Logan.
Okay.
That came out. I had a chance to take a look at it. You haven't seen it yet.
You got to sell me on that because I haven't really liked the Wolverine series.
And that's a good thing that you say that I have to sell you on that. Because
Yeah,
if
'cause I
there's
have
one
no-
that I can sell you on, it's Logan. Logan is not like any of the other Wolverine movies. This is the Wolverine movie that everybody's been waiting for. This is the actual real Wolverine from the comic books. The guy that pulls out the claws and is going to chop you into pieces, and you get to see it the way it is in all its bloody splendor. It's a great movie. It's a great comic book movie, but it also works as a movie that's not just comic book. It actually works almost like a Western. And they actually give a nod to the old movie, classic movie Shane was a Western. They give a nod to in the movie, and you can see a lot of elements of that in the movie. It's a lot of good action. It's brutal action, and it's easily the best Wolverine movie by far out of all.
Well, that's not saying much,
It's not
but
saying much, but
They've all been pretty bad.
it's the
I
best
try to give it-
interpretation of Wolverine though in all the X-Men movies too, though. And it's
I think the X-Men have been kind of weak personally too. So.
they're not my favorite ones either. But
Yeah,
what I'm saying is there've been a few good ones
Okay,
in the
all
X-Men
right.
movies, and this one is the best though, as far as the Wolverine character.
Now from the
is concerned.
previews, it does look interesting. It looks good.
You check it out and you tell us about it next week.
I
when you
will
see
definitely check it out.
It's definitely worth the watch. And you want to see a good action movie, just take away all the comic book stuff. You want to see a good action movie, it's a good action movie. So
Okay.
Logan, Good movie. Go check it out.
Okay.
So we're gonna go from there, and now we're gonna review a movie that we both did get a chance to look at. And it's a big movie that's doing a lot of big things right now. It's causing a lot of big controversies, a lot of big conversations out there right now. It's a movie called Get Out, directed by Jordan Peele. What did you think about Get Out? Get Out.
It's interesting. Watching the movie, going to watch the movie, because I had read about it previously before, so going into it, I already kind of knew some of the subject matter it was dealing with. But actually watching the movie, first of all, they started with a good score. The song in the beginning of the movie, it just
I think that's Childish Gambino.
Yeah, it is Childish Gambino.
Yeah, that's I looked that song up as soon as I heard it. That song,
he killed it.
My
with
God,
that.
I was like, that song.
When you listen to the lyrics,
right?
It goes along with
Stay Woke or something.
Stay
Like,
Woke.
oh my God,
and I'm
that
like,
song
wow,
is crazy.
So and I'm up there listening. I'm like, damn, okay, I can listen to this for a second.
Yeah,
I'm liking what I'm
that
hearing.
was perfect.
That was perfect.
I love the way that.
So he already sold me on that part.
Right.
The beginning of it.
Right.
Then going into it, I thought the acting started shaking, but looking at it and thinking about it now, he did that on purpose.
Right.
Because the buildup was so good.
Yeah. Real quick,
Uh-oh.
we're gonna try to stay pretty broad for the beginning of this review, and then we might get into a few spoilers later on. So if you don't want to see or listen to spoilers about the movie, you haven't seen it yet, I'll tell you when there's really spoiler alerts needed to be had, and you check us out later on and watch this later on after you see the movie. So but that's not yet. We're gonna just stay broad right now.
We're gonna do broad because we're gonna talk about the kind of the tone of the movie. I think it's very, very good. But what were you gonna ask?
No, go ahead. I was just telling I needed to give a spoiler warning for later on.
It was such a good pacing to the movie, I thought. Classic thriller. I don't know where they got the horror part from. It's not even close to a horror movie. It's not a horror movie.
Okay, there's elements, but go ahead.
Well, not really. I mean, you think about horror, you're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Those are more horror.
Well, those are particular types of horror.
Well, they're more horror.
Okay, so what else? Get it.
I thought the main character, I would say the two main characters in it were really strong.
Yeah.
And really sold it. Really sold the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. In fact, I was just thinking to myself, I'm going to go see that movie again. I want to see because there's so many different elements that I think I missed.
Right. Things that'll jump out at you after you see the movie.
I know where you're going.
You'll look at it.
I know what you're looking at.
You'll look at certain aspects of the movie after the fact, and you'll think about it, and it'll hit you like, wait, that's what that meant. That's what was really happening there. So yeah, that was really good. I thought that the movie was great, and I've heard a few different things online with people saying, I thought it would be this, or I thought it would be that. I didn't like it because it wasn't there. To me, I watched the movie and everything that they showed in the trailer, I got from the movie.
It stayed true to what the movie was supposed to be.
It was exactly what I thought it was. It's not. When somebody says horror movie, if you're going in there looking for Jason or Freddy Krueger, it's not going to be that. When they're saying horror, it's more on a psychological thing. I think that I would liken this movie more to
one of my customers said it was correct Alfred Hitchcock type of.
It was definitely Hitchcockian in it, or you could say Twilight Zone or Outer Limits episode. There's been plenty of episodes of the Twilight Zone or Outer Limits where somebody goes somewhere and the people there are just weird and the things are different. So there was a lot of elements of
that elephant in the room type of.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What's the reality is different. So I thought that it plays more to those kind of more suspense thriller type things than straight.
But it was
horror.
done so with such intellect and intelligence in terms of how it's portrayed because it deals with racism on such a different level.
Right.
Right. Well, it's not black and white racism.
Okay, so I'm going to give a slight spoiler alert real quick, and I'm going to try to talk as vague as possible when I say some of this stuff. So there were definite elements of actual real life situations that were put into this movie. So it starts off, and this is again spoiler warning. It's going to start off.
I've been the only minority in a room, so I know that feel and how people are trying to make you feel comfortable, and they say the wrong thing.
Right.
But they're not. And
it gets worse and worse.
It gets worse and worse. They keep going, and so I know you've probably been in that situation also many times.
Yeah, but even before that, I'm gonna say in the very beginning of the movie, it starts off with something that's very similar to Trayvon Martin. that in the very opening of the movie was very similar to Trayvon Martin. And I don't know if you caught that when it first happened, but it was Trayvon Martin all the way when they did that. So that's there, and they used.
I know what you're talking about.
The whole situation that was all the way 100%. Trayvon, he had the hoodie,
he's walking
in area,
suburban area.
phone.
Yep,
it's the exact same situation. So that was there. There was a lot of moments like that throughout the movie, peppered throughout. If you really look at it, the harvesting of black organs, a lot of stuff that you can look. Overall, look, one thing that people need to understand with this movie, so you get into a lot of these conversations, people are like, well, why do the white people have to be portrayed like this? The white people in this movie were not bad because they're white people. The white people in this movie were bad because they were bad people. That was it.
Yeah.
And that's generally what racism is. It's not that people have a problem with you because of your views, because you are such and such race. It's because you're just not doing it the right way. You're not going about it the right way. You're saying things the wrong way. You're insulting. You're doing things like that. So it has nothing to do with the fact that these people were white. But they were bad people.
But it dealt with moderate racism too.
Moderate
type of. But these are people that didn't think they were racist.
But that was what it is.
And that's the thing. And there was a level of that. And I thought that was portrayed really well.
Right.
Because there's some people that, I'm not racist, but they kind of have racist type of views about certain stuff. And that's just being honest.
Right. And I know several people, myself included, the dinner scene when he walks in not the dinner scene, but the dinner party. When everybody's there, man. That has happened to me on more than one occasion. Yeah. And I'm not talking about any of the outrageous aspects of the movie. I'm just talking about the fact that you go somewhere and you're automatically all eyes on you because you're the only one of that race. You can be a white person in that situation and go through the same thing. So I thought that
go to a black church, or anything. People,
black school, black church, anything, and you might feel like that. So. They used the elements, the satire of a racial satire, and they wrapped it around this suspense thriller movie, and all the rest of the stuff.
But they did it realistically, and that's the important thing. To a point. Well, and I thought they dealt with the interracial relationship really well.
They did a great job on that. Allison Williams did a great job as the girlfriend, and it was everything about it was just well done, and I thought that the movie overall. It is what it is. It's not gonna. If you're going there looking for something that's gonna change your life, it's not gonna do that. If you want to see a nice little thriller that will make you think a little bit, this movie is that.
It will. I think it will make you view things differently and see things for what sometimes they are. And I think a lot of times we don't discuss these type of things, and we don't discuss them intelligently. So we get upset. We just don't speak about them.
Right.
They do happen.
Right, and it's, I love the little subtle touches.
It's very subtle. It's a lot of subtle things in that movie that you can just grasp, and you're like, oh, man.
Like the when he comes in there and the guy's talking about the deer, like one less dead. And I'm glad that when I see one, I want to put another one down. Like it's just like so many little moments like that. Right, it's just so many moments like that you're gonna sit there and it's gonna just be like, wow. I know what they're talking about when they say that. So
it did have some elements there that just I'm like, oh, you just ruined it because it's so.
What aspect?
Well, when he finds the box, that made no sense.
Well. Again, that's it. I don't want to give too many.
Well, they're going to see it.
Well, yeah, but
we're telling you,
they might not want to know that exactly. But yes,
he goes and finds his box in the closet, right? And it just
spoiler alert. Go ahead.
And I'm just sitting here like, really? You got everything else that's been going good, the patient's good, and then you're gonna have this black box. They killed him with the black box. I like that part. But in the closet, inside the closet, and the door wide open. And she basically catches him and doesn't realize that.
Well, they gotta have some.
You did it.
You gotta have some horror suspense tropes. You gotta have the holy crap, where am I at moment. Is this all? You gotta have some of those little moments in there. So that was.
How do you think about his friend?
I thought it was good. I thought he added some levity to the movie. I thought he added some levity.
Because I thought they were going to go overboard with that.
It was just enough.
It was just enough.
Just enough. They gave you just enough to because some of the stuff, it gets really uncomfortable with those movies. And you might, even if you're not racist or whatever, you're not, if you're not really uptight about things, you might sit there and it still might be getting really uncomfortable. So it's nice to have moments of levity. Nice to have somebody give a little comic relief. And he came right at the right moments, I thought. and just enough to lighten it up just a little bit. So you remember you're watching a movie, and then it brought it back. And I thought it was. I
was kind of afraid that they were going to go overboard with that.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily
certain movies, because I remember like Jungle Fever. It went overboard. You're like, oh goodness, and they handled this really well, because there were some scenes that I was like, oh, don't ruin it, and then it brought them back. Brought it back. So it was really well done. I thought that he could have gave us a little more story, a little bit more story.
I disagree. I thought that there was a lot of. I thought for what he did, I thought he gave a lot of good backstory to everybody. I love the stuff with the main guys.
How about did you catch the one where he did the cards like in Slaver?
Yeah, all of the action, all that stuff. It's all there. It's all there. So
very subtle though.
Overall, a great movie. I thought overall it's something that was unexpected, and it's something that everybody should go and check out. If you want to have a good time watching something that'll make you think, and that's just a good little suspense thriller, I thought. So overall, good movie, great movie for me.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good movie. I would encourage people to go see it, discuss it, talk about it, because it is some certain elements that I think we need to be able to openly discuss and be upfront with. And that movie did it. Because interracial relationships are coming more and more, and so being uncomfortable and it's corny now. I mean, 2017.
I think there's one important thing to think about when it comes to this. A lot of people reviewed this movie. A lot of people reviewed this movie and reviewed it favorably, and most of the people that reviewed it were white, and so I think people get it. I think people get what I was trying to say. I think they saw it and they understood where the movie was coming from.
Well, what I don't understand is, and this is from my lens, I guess, is that when people say it was a racist movie, I don't like.
Well, anytime you deal with race, somebody's gonna be offended. You're not gonna avoid it. Somebody from each side is gonna be offended.
The reason why I was just thinking about this a couple nights ago, and. You could have put anybody in that role that was different from the main characters, right?
Right.
You could have put a homeless guy, anybody in there, and so being uncomfortable is what that movie spoke to me about,
right?
And that's what I thought was showed up across the screen, and it made the movie so well put together. I thought.
I think also too, you got to remember, take out the fact that this guy's black. If it all just had to be the same situation, if they were all one race in this movie and the same types of things was happening to the guy and with the family and all of that stuff like that, nobody would have a problem with it. We watch.
That's a problem we're at.
But that's what I'm saying is
everything we base upon is like a race thing.
But that's what I'm saying. If you watch 100 movies that come out a year where white people kill other white people or black people kill other black people and nobody says anything about it, but the minute that race becomes involved, it's controversy. So just think about it in that term, and then if you look at it through that lens, you're gonna see the movie for what it is. Good people, bad people are just people, regardless. Yeah. It's just you make good choices or bad choices, and
it does not matter.
That's what it is, and that's what it is. And there's some racial satire in there that makes you think about.
And sometimes that's the best is having comedy to help. Relieve some of those intense type of situations. So,
but overall, it was a good movie. We both really liked. Well, we're gonna get into one last thing before we go, and it's a brief spotlight. Now we've talked a little bit about a movie in particular, one that I've reviewed for the Seattle Emerald, and we talked about it and dealing with the subject of race and everything like that. I thought it'd be an interesting time to kind of bring up our spotlight movie, which is A Birth of a Nation, which came out last October, I believe it was, directed by Nate Parker, and that was a controversial movie. I reviewed it favorably.
I didn't like it.
I reviewed it. I thought it was a good movie. We'll start. What was your deal when it came to that movie, and what it meant for the in this climate politically and racially and everything like that?
You're going on that.
Just and then your overall.
That is interesting. It's an interesting person. So I've kind of read about him and kind of followed some of the things about him, which I was really looking forward to this movie particularly. And then when I watched the movie, I just thought, oh, you just left off some important stuff, and I just think
it's a long movie though.
It's a very long movie, but Harry, it just didn't. I just think it missed the point.
What was the point that you wanted to get across that didn't get across in that movie?
I want the focus to be about the reasoning behind the revolt. And I wanted to really go and dig into that. 12 Years a Slave did it. they did.
Okay.
This one didn't dig enough. And to me, it just got to the ending, and I was just like, And I don't know if it's Nate. I don't know whether or not it was just his performance that didn't speak to me. I didn't really particularly like the movie. And I was asking other people, I said, well, did you like the movie? Because maybe I was missing something, and people were like,
Well, real quick, and just for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, the movie Birth of a Nation deals with a real life story about a slave turned rebel. It was a slave preacher by the name of Nat Turner who preached for the different slave plantations in his surrounding area, and he helped try to get these other slaves in line with his preaching and stuff like that, because they needed him to calm down some of the slaves because they feared a revolt. And he ended up leading a revolt against the slave masters, and that's what happened historically, and that's what the movie was about. Yeah, and so the movie follows Nat Turner's life from when he was a child all the way till his adulthood until the revolt actually happens. I feel like the reason why I liked it was that I thought that everything that needed to be said was said about why the revolt happened. I don't think you really need to have too many reasons to have a revolt when you're a slave. I mean, you see what they're doing to the slaves all throughout the movie, viciously. Let me finish. They're slaves. So anything you can think of that happened to slaves happened to these slaves, and it's terrible. It's a horrible life, and I don't think you need much reason to revolt in that situation. And that's what happened in this movie. And the movie actually showed you very well how where Nat Turner started and where his relationship started with his slave master, and how he was an obedient slave until he started visiting these other plantations and getting an eyeful about just how bad it was for all of its people. And when the things keep happening to everybody, and it keeps happening to him, and it keeps happening to his family, it keeps happening to everything else, I don't think you need much more reason to revolt. And I think the movie did a good job of showing that. It also did a good job, in my view, of showing that the slave masters did not start off as these evil people, because you see his friend, the slave master, they were friends when they were kids, and then he grew up to be this slave master who learned all the stuff from his family. So it was a learned behavior that the slave owners did, and I thought that the movie showed that very well. And I thought it was shot well, I thought it was acted well, and I thought that it was what it was. I mean, the story, the Nat Turner story, is not a happy one. It doesn't have a happy ending, it doesn't have a happy beginning or a happy middle. So I think that it's a story that still needed to be told, because you don't really hear much about slave revolts in America, in American slavery history. You don't really hear about those. I thought it was a story that needed to be told, and I thought it was well done.
Well, that was a long monologue, but the point being is, though, if you're going to tell a story, though, we do need, for somebody like just the average person who doesn't know nothing about it, right? You need that story in order to know exactly the characters, what's going on, etc., right? Going on what you said is, we can have that movie for 25 minutes and the movie be over, because there's no story. But we need more story.
It wasn't 25 minutes, though. The movie was well over 2 hours, and it got really deep into everything.
It got surface deep.
I don't think so. I think that they actually showed the African roots that the guy had in the movie, which I thought was a great touch. They showed it all the way up to. They went deep into this guy's life, his motivations. They were all
anything you could have started and then have flashbacks all throughout the movie, and be able to tell.
There was flashbacks.
There were some flashbacks. I'm just saying you could have started at the revolt and then go back in the flashback, and it would have probably been a little bit stronger.
A different movie, but I mean,
I think it would have been a lot stronger movie. Though the movie just wasn't. And okay, 12 Years a Slave. What do you think about that?
I think 12 Years a Slave is the best of the slave themed movies that we've seen. But I mean, that's.
But what do you like about 12 Years a Slave? It's not.
Real quick, it's apples and oranges. It really is, because 12 Years a Slave is about somebody's enduring the slave situation and coming out of it. The
But
Nat
it was
Turner story,
storytelling.
the Birth of a
Storytelling.
Nation, is a different story altogether. This is about somebody who could not endure it, and there was a lot of those that could not. They could not take the abuse. They couldn't live through it a minute longer, and they revolted. So
How
your apples
long
and
was
oranges.
Nat Turner? How long did he take him before he revolted?
It took him a while.
Okay, so essentially it is the same story.
But,
what I'm saying.
but
so
the
you said it was
outcome's very
different. It's not.
But I'm saying there's a different outcome in the movie. 12 Years a Slave is about.
What I'm saying. What do
enduring
you
the
like
12
about 12 Years a Slave? What do you like
I
about it?
thought overall, I think 12 Years a Slave is a better movie. I don't really want to get into that movie in
No,
particular.
I'm just
think that
asking.
it's a
What
better-
do you think the story was better?
Well,
you said the
I think
storytelling was
the
better. Do
story-
you think the acting was better?
I think the story's better only in the sense that where it eventually led to in the end of the movie, it gave you something that the Nat Turner story couldn't give you. It was somewhat of a happier ending.
So that's the only thing you liked about that?
No, I didn't say that. But what I'm saying is,
you
I
keep
think-
on skipping what I'm asking. I'm saying, what did you like about it? Because essentially, the story was, it just was disconnected in Birth of a Nation. It was a disconnect.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I
But
think
you
that-
like 12 Years a Slave. I'm saying,
12 Years a
give
Slave-
me something why you like
They're
it.
two different
Was it-
movies. I thought that there was better. I thought there were stronger performances throughout 12 Years
That's
a
all I'm
Slave.
saying. I said
that
Nat
doesn't. Okay, but that's
they part.
it's not
just
the
wasn't-
story elements. That's just
The
I thought that
acting
there was-
and the story elements, but the acting was not very.
Right, but I'm not reviewing 12 Years a Slave. I already told you.
I
think that's a
understand.
better
No,
movie.
I'm just saying, giving me. I'm trying to figure out what do you like about it in terms of what do you not.
I
Because
think
you keep
that
on
was a
telling
stronger
me
movie.
Birth of a Nation was really good. I'm like,
But you can
Was
have
it
two
good?
good movies. You could have two good movies and one be better than the other. It's a better movie overall. But
out
I
of
thought
5
that
stars, what did you give Birth of a Nation?
Birth of a Nation, I gave that. I believe I gave it 4 stars.
Wow.
Shot beautifully. It is well acted. It's a different
Now
movie.
people will be listening to me. I can see, but
or they'll listen to somebody who's objective and has a good opinion about 2 different movies that he saw. One is better in his opinion, which is 12 Years a Slave, and the other one is a good one, and it's serviceable for everything that it's trying to tell in the story. that it's trying to tell.
wasn't one nominated? Another.
There's a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of different reasons.
What was
Well,
nominated? What was other?
well, there's a lot-
a small reason why it's bad.
If we talked about every good movie that wasn't nominated for an Academy Award, we would be here all
true.
year. So that's not the greatest point. You didn't like it, I liked it. That's something that everybody should check out, though, at least to get to form their own
I agree.
opinion on. We can both agree on that.
Yes, sir.
It's a Birth of a Nation, our spotlight movie. Go check that one out. So that's pretty much it for today. We are going to be back next week. We're going to talk a little bit about some TV shows and what we're excited for in TV this year.
Yeah.
And we're going to even talk a little bit about some music stuff that's going on.
Some good, definitely some good R&B going on.
Some good R&B, some good stuff all around. So that's pretty much it for today. Barry Crosby, Terry Youngman, Urban Shop Talk. We'll be here next week. Thank you for everybody showing up today. See you next time.
Talk to you later.